Hi, this is Edward Troxel. Today we're going to start part 3 of looking for duplicate frames, and this time we are going to add markers to the timeline for every frame that we see needs to be removed. So if it's a duplicate frame, we'll add a marker. This will be interesting so that we can see exactly where the markers are the frames that need to be deleted. So let's take a look at this code. As we discussed in the previous tutorial, we set our threshold at 0.4, and so we'll see how that works with our code today. We are going to stop looking at this routine and move over to the check images markers routine. This routine will add a marker wherever there is an event that needs to be changed. So let's see how that differs from our get images routine. So this is our new routine. This is the same as before. We're getting our left file and our right file. We're saving our snapshot, getting our bitmap and our bitmap, and we're starting with our when did we start string. Then we're going through all of the frames just like we did before. Get the file right name, the time code for the frame that we're looking at, save the right file, and load the right file, and then check the difference between the two. All of that is the same as what we did before. Likewise, down here, our image1dispose all the way down to our clipboard.setText, that's all exactly the same before. What's different is this new section right here. And so let's see how that works. We have, if our %different, what we got back from this routine, is less than the threshold, then we know that this is a frame that we want to get rid of. So I'm adding a report string to result right here. We're just adding a new string and saying that we're adding a marker at and the position that is being added at. Then we're creating a new marker at current position, and we just threw the current frame name in there. We could throw anything in there if we wanted, or nothing at all. It doesn't really have to be named. And then we are adding that marker to the project. So myvegas.project.markers.add, and then the marker that we just created. If it is not less than the threshold, then I'm just adding the information to the result line so that it'll show up in our paste when we go to Notepad. So let's see how it works with this one little change right here. So we have our event selected on the timeline. Let's go to Tools. And now our script is looking at each of the images. You can see we got a marker on the timeline. There's the second marker. So all in all, it shows that we have 11 markers added. And if we paste the information, we can see that it added one here where the difference was 0. It added one here where the difference was 0. Once again, the difference was 0, so it added one here. Then it added all of these where the marker is greater than 0, but it's less than our 0.4 threshold. And so, therefore, it added the marker in all those locations as well because the difference was too small to be noteworthy. And if we zoom in, we will see that it was added at frame number 2, number 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. And if we look, we will notice that from this frame to this frame, there was no difference, and so it says we can remove this frame. That frame was different, so it didn't get a marker. That one was different. That one was not different between these two, so it did put a marker there. Then different, different, not different, not different, and so forth the rest of the way to the end of this. I did run the script on this big clip here, and I'll show you a snapshot of what that looked like after it got done. You can see there are a whole lot of markers on that. So now we've expanded the routine to actually put a marker in the locations where a frame should be removed. Next, we want to change that so that we actually have regions around the sections we want to remove. So instead of having, for example, the 15, 16, 13 markers, or in the case of the big one, 1,200 markers, That's how many regions that we're actually wanting to remove. And that number is going to be a whole lot smaller than the number of markers. So we'll see that in the next episode. Subscribe to see that, and look at our new community section, and you may see other things there, and ask me questions about things that you would like to see as well. See you in the next tutorial. Please sign up at www.jettv.com and subscribe on YouTube to get further notifications on when new videos are presented.